Hi, thank you for joining me. Today's card is a split gatefold shaker card.
So I'm super excited to be involved in the new Sweet November stamps release. And for this release, I'm using the MerMay Party, which I can't wait to get stamped up. I'm also going to use the Soft Seashores Shaker Mix. This is absolutely beautiful. You can see let me get some out of the packet for you. You can see the little shells and the beautiful delicate colours. And look at those. And there's some little other ones as well. So let's get started. So I am going to stamp up my scene. I have penciled a piece of paper because my scene's going to fit into the back of the card. I've just penciled in myself a frame which measures 6 3/4 by 3 7/8. And I'm just going to spin that because it's actually going to be landscape, not portrait. And we'll get these stamped up.
So it is going to be quite a busy scene, so I do a little bit of masking, which I've cut out off camera. And the idea is that we've got a little mermaid party going on in the open, but you're sort of seeing it from within a cave. So it's quite dark at the front and lighter towards the back. So just mask this mermaid off because I want her to be poking her head around the cave really. And we'll begin then by colouring up the skin. Apologies, I've got my hand in the way here. I do adjust as I go through. So for my skin, I'm using E13, E11, E21, and then E00, E000, and a little bit of R00 just on the cheeks. And I'm doing exactly the same blend for the other little mermaid as well. Very easy blend for this hair, so I'm going to use some E47 as my darkest colour. I'm going to come in then with some E44, some E43, and finish it with a little bit of E42. So I want this one to be sort of curly wavy hair, so I'm just making little C shapes with my W7. I'm going to come in with my W5 and then finish off with W3. Bright and vivid tail because it's right in the middle, so some V95, some RV14. I then come in with some RV11, but I don't like it, so I go back over it with some RV14. And then finish just the corners with the RV11. YR09 and YR04 for the star, and then some V95, E00 and E000 for the shell. Her little bikini top is R89, R24 and then R05. RV19, RV09 and RV04 on this tail. And then again I want my jellyfish quite vivid, so I'm using quite a deep red blend. Starting with RV89, I'm going to RV29, then RV24 and I'm finishing with RV05. And I'm going to use that on all 5. So for the balloon creatures, I'm going to use YG67 on this bigger one, followed by some YG23, YG03 and YG01. For the littler one, I'm going to use the YG67, but I'm then going to jump to the YG03, some YG01 and finish with some YG00. B000, BV000 and then some B000 here. So I'm just going to start to make the scene here. I've got some BG10 and I'm just starting to lay some colour down on the paper. Now I am attempting to do this at this point without masking, but I do change my mind. I'm coming in now with the BG11 and I'm starting to find it a little bit tricky, so I will mask it and come back. So I'm using B12 here and I'm starting to think that I've made a terrible mistake, but it does whoosh together quite nicely in a moment. I always talk myself out of it when I'm doing it. So just laying that colour down, getting the card nice and wet. Then I'm going to come back with the BG11. I do manage to knock off one of the masks, and to this day I still don't know where it's gone. So I think my jellyfish might quite like a little bit of a glow, so I've got some RV00 here. In actual fact, I don't think you can see this once the scene's finished, so you could actually skip this step out. And I'm going over that with some RV000, and I'm going to go over the top of that again then with the BG11. But like I say, I'm not convinced you can actually see it once the card's all together. So starting to lay the foundations down for that cave with some B99. Some BG78 next, and I do manage to knock the mask off and colour in my starfish, which I'll attempt to rescue in a moment. So some YR04 to try to brighten that back up again. Then some BG75 and some BG72 for this cave. And I want like that algae sort of seaweedy look on the edge, so I'm using some G20 just to give it a bit of a green effect. Now this is some black. I felt it really needed darkening up, and we're going to have some seaweed at the front. Some BG78 on the top of that, and then some YG25 to try and get that seaweed effect. So to the other side, I'm actually going to start with the black, and then I can try and get that green in before we get the rest of the colour in. I think it'll work better. So just going back in now with the BG78 and then the YG25. And then I can start to do the rest of the cave. So this is the B99, the BG78, BG75, and then the BG72. And then I'm going to come back in again with a green, and this time I'm using G40. So I'm really not happy with this starfish here, so I think maybe I can lighten the edges. So this is my YR02, trying to give it a bit of a glow. That doesn't work, so I come in with some Y13, I believe. Not convinced it works, but it's slightly better than it was. So I'm going to start that sand now, remembering that it's darker within the cave and getting lighter as we get further away. So this is E49, just using that really at the extreme of the edge of the page. E57 now. E35, and then E33, and then my lightest is going to be E00. And we're nearly there then, just that horizon line. I want some seaweed, so these really are just squiggly lines, and this is BG93. I'm going to go over that and soften it a little bit with some BG90 and then go over all of it again with the BG11. Just soften it back out. And now time for the big reveal. I love watching it all come together like this, peeling the masks off. And then we can start to think about making the card base itself.
So the card base itself looked much trickier than it actually is. I've got a piece of A4 which I've trimmed down to 6 inch. I'm going to flick it onto its short end, and I'm going to score at 1 inch down and 1 inch across. And I'm going to take that down to the 8.5 inch mark. And then I'm going to come across to the 5 inch, and I'm going to do exactly the same. So down to the 1 and then down to the 8.5. Flick it onto its long side, and you're going to score it inside these 2 lines at 1 inch. Just take that back because I don't think I've got it quite to 1 inch on that way. Then going to score it on the inside again at 2 inch. So just inside that rectangle you've created, again at 2 inch. I'm then going to score it on the outside of this rectangle only at 7.5, and you want to do that top and bottom of your rectangle. You're going to score it on the inside at 8.5, and then you're going to score it all the way down at 9.5. And you will need to cut this bit out. For that, I'm going to get a cutting mat and a blade. So I've got my cutting mat and a ruler. I haven't got a metal ruler. If you've got a metal ruler, it will work better. I'm just going to cut down. Some of you might be confident enough to do this on your cutting machine, on your guillotine. I absolutely am not. And then do the other side. Then you want to fold these so that you've got 2 valleys. Sorry, 1 valley and a mountain. Makes better sense. This one wants to be a mountain, as do these ones. And then this end one wants to be a valley. And that will give you your box shape.
And then to create my pattern paper for my shaker elements, I'm using the little stamps that are within the set and some Memento dewdrops in a teal and a blue. I'm not sure of the exact colours. And this piece of card measures 1 3/4 inch by 5 3/4 inch. And I've cut acetate, which measures 6 1/4 inch by 2 1/4 inch, and I've scored it all the way around at 1/4 inch, just to create them lips for the pocket. So I've just taken out a few of these bigger shells because I want them to be the right way around, and then I have created my pocket by just double-siding tape on my acetate, and then I'll feed my shells in, and then again just going to double-side tape at the top to close the pocket itself. Then I've done exactly the same on a frame which fits the rest of the card base, and again got my acetate with the 1/4 inch gaps. This one's a little bit more tricky because I'm going to have to fill this one, can't fill all this one in one go. We're going to have to do this a bit and tape it a bit because it's got to go around corners, and then the shaker elements aren't going to quite shake around the corners. So I got that completed off camera, and then I'm just going to double side and tape it onto the frame. I just want to make sure that them folds are exactly where they are on the card base itself. Just take a little bit of time here. And then we can get that seam in. And then for my sentiment, I have just heat embossed and fussy cut out. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on 2 corners and fasten it on. I want this to sort of stand out over the front of the scene. Don't forget to check out the rest of the new release and everybody else in the hop. I've linked it all in the description below.